Arizona, homeowner's best friend.
So we're talking a garden setup today, and what a beautiful day to get a little setup done around your home, castle, or cabin.
There you go. Well, and it's really important to make sure you plan your garden right from the get-go. Because if you put it in the wrong spot, if you put it on a western exposure, if you put it in a northern spot, it's going to fail right out of the chute. So there's a few things, that's what we're going to cover today. There's a few things that you just need to think about before you actually jump in and plant and plan your garden. So you do need to do a little bit of pre-planting, especially here in the desert.
And when you say pre-planting, so you talk, as much as a full year, but there's a lot of other things you can do in the course of that year to start growing stuff.
Absolutely. So that reference, the 1 year reference, is I always tell people spend at least a year on a property before you make any major changes. Major changes would be, putting in all your garden beds in a place. I want you to spend time thinking about and watching where the sun's at to make sure that you are getting your garden in a space that's going to be appropriate. Because there's things in your yard called microclimates. Microclimates are spaces that are warmer or cooler, and you need to kind of decipher that and make sure that you're getting that garden placed appropriately. And one way of doing that is watching the sun. The sun moves in the sky, right?
And the wintertime at my house, it's like right here. In the summertime at my house, it's like over here.
Right, exactly. And the rub there is, though, it's actually the earth that's moving, not the sun. The sun stays permanent in place. But it looks like the sun's in a different place in the sky. And you want to pay attention to that. It's going to be at its lowest point on December 21st in the sky, and its highest point on June 21st. So I want you to go out especially on those 2 days, and pay attention to where the sun's at so that you know. That's going to inform you a lot.
Your shadows are going to be different. The time of day, the length of day, all those things factor in huge for the plant. Exactly.
And so pay attention to that. Pay attention to where the sun is at, where the shade is at, because there's two key things in placement of your garden. There's the sunlight, and then there's the sun heat. And if you put your garden in, say, a north side of a structure, it's not going to get enough light, and you're not going to be able to necessarily grow anything there. Or if you put your sun on a western exposure, that's on a west side of a wall, the west side of your house, it may very well cook. That's going to be the warmest microclimate in your space. So ideally, if you have an eastern exposure, and what that looks like is if your back is against a wall and you're looking east, that's an eastern exposure. That's going to be the best place to put a garden.
Rosie on the house, every Arizona homeowner's best friend.